welcome to another video. And as usual, before I get started, go ahead and smash that like and subscribe if you're new to this content. And to my current subscribers, I appreciate you guys more you know. Let's just get right to it. The Safemoon price right now is 30139. Bitcoin is around at 28,600. You know, the Safemoon price actually did spike from a 30139 to 30150 over basically in the AM hours. And notice the price of Bitcoin is actually starting to climb from the 28,200 to now the 28,600. What I have noticed that whenever the Bitcoin price actually rises, the tokens or coins that are actually paired with Bitcoin, they move at the same pattern right away. But for those tokens that are not paired with Bitcoin, for example, like Safemoon, I'll notice that after maybe about 8, 10 to 12 hours, the price of Safemoon will start to climb. It seems as if there's a little bit of a delay price action that happens so we can take advantage of the Bitcoin climb. And that has been the pattern that I've been noticing. So I'm actually going to pay close attention right now to see if that pump actually go ahead and rise or lift the Safemoon price by a few percentage points. Maybe get it back to the 30150 or roughly the 30, say 149, and to see if there's a pattern there. And these are the things that I look at. I like to look at different patterns. I mean, it's the math in me. I like to look at things that are happening from a numbers standpoint to go ahead and do some sort of analysis to see what are the impacts and what the cause and effect will be when the price rises. So we do know that when Bitcoin prices rise, all the other tokens rise as well. But the thing is that how long does it take for it to rise? If Bitcoin spiked to, let's say, 30, 40,000, how quickly would Safemoon price climb? Because I've noticed that when the Bitcoin price actually ran up, Safemoon basically was still moving sideways. And a few hours later, then it started to rise as Bitcoin started to retrace. So let's just keep an eye on that and hope you guys are paying attention to that as well. So again, if you're watching this video for the first time, like, share, subscribe, guys, because we're going to talk about Safemoon as well as we're going to talk about Bitcoin and everything that can be impacting the altcoins as well. Not just what Bitcoin is doing, if there's any new things that are coming up, because these are the things that you must take a good second look at when you're making an investment with your money. Now, there's a lot of people that does a lot of technical analysis. The only disadvantage with technical analysis is that you never know when somebody's going to sell. There would be, projection and forecast of where it could potentially go. And traditionally, those TA have been pretty much really, really close to what's going to happen, but they don't know if somebody has some emotional or financial issue that's happening, they're going to go ahead and sell right away. The TA charts cannot predict that. The TA charts could not predict the fake news that was coming out in reference to a spot ETF at BlackRock. No indications. There was a little bit of a bull flag, but there was nobody could have predicted that happening. So for those of you that really rely on a bunch of technical analysis, take it with a grain of salt. Don't put all your money based on a TA, a technical analysis, because if a silent approval was to happen, the price can go up right away. So the main idea on how you go ahead and deal with any type of investment is you go ahead and you dollar cost average. This is the time when you go ahead and dollar cost average, because it's a long-term investment. You know for sure if you invest in a stock now, that's a company that's actually growing. You don't need to look at technical analysis. You look at the information that's coming from the company, how they're doing, what products they're releasing, how are they expanding, and over a period of time, you will get a return on your investment. Technical analysis is actually really, really good, but it's not the 100% true story on where a project is going to go. If a CEO actually gets fired or they realize there was inside trading, that can stop. A TA cannot tell you that. So keep in mind, guys, those are things that happen. So yesterday was actually Gary Gensler's birthday. And, Gary Gensler went ahead and released some footage that I'm going to go ahead and play later on in the video. It's about, say, 2 to 3 minutes long. And basically, I'll have you guys listen to it. But from a summarization standpoint, he says that, for lack of a better word, he wants to get these things approved, but they're going to be listed on the stock market. They're going to be categorized as security. And there's actually nothing wrong with that because, securities roughly is what the stock market actually deals with, and they have their regulation. I think it comes down to the guidelines that he's going to have set to make sure they fall in line, these hedge fund companies, when offering the derivative of Bitcoin from a spot ETF standpoint, making sure that they understand the process. So this is why everybody's really, really convinced that there will be a spot ETF that's actually going to happen. We don't know how high the price is going to go. I project that the price will probably go to around the 42 $10,000 mark, and as the more and more hedge funds companies are approved. Now, if he does approve all of them right away, that would be momentous, okay? There'll be a phenomenon and the price will go up. But I don't think he may do that. He's probably going to be really careful because there will definitely be a market manipulation. And the list will go on of all the different brokerage firms that will want to go ahead and offer that as well. So there'll be a gradual, hopefully it will be Grayscale first, maybe ARK Invest, and then maybe BlackRock, Fidelity, and the list will goes on. And then they will all have to adhere to the rules and regulations that are actually in place when it comes to the approval. So again, guys, for those of you that want to keep track of what's happening, always look at the big picture whenever you're investing. Don't just be very, very tunnel vision and only focus on your project. Look at the things that can actually affect the bottom line, and that would impact your investment going forward. And that's how you invest. Not saying that I am a pro, but I look at every single thing that I can actually have an effect on where my money is going to go, how far it's going to go, how much of an impact it's going to be if there's any type of bad news. What am I going to do if there's an impact? Am I going to go ahead and dollar cost average on something? I will definitely dollar cost average on a project that I believe in, and that goes specifically for the stock market and some of those blue chip tokens that I invest in, known as the crypto market. Now, the crypto market is a budding type of industry or a platform, and the well-known token, of course, coin is actually Bitcoin. A lot of people only know about the very, very popular name, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge. A few people know a lot about SHIB, but a lot of people only invest in those tokens that they can buy in the centralized exchanges. And a lot of people don't put in the required amount that to auto get a return. If you're going to put in maybe $15, you're not going to get, and not going to say you're not going to be a millionaire. You're probably going to take some time. Now, if you put in $15 worth of SHIB or a Safemoon now, in about 10, 15 years, yes, you will get a nice return. Let's say if you're around the age of, let's say 21, 22. And you put maybe $100 on Safemoon now. And let's say you get to the point where you're around, say, 50 years old, and Safemoon is still in existence. You will definitely see a return on your investment. Just make sure you remember your seed phrase or you remember how to get back in. That will be more of a 401k that you can invest in. But you may not see a tremendous amount of a return right away on that $15 investment. You'll see the spike when they go ahead and release the products. But you'll start to see a return that $15 probably go to $300, but it will not actually be life-changing. There'll be an improvement, but not as much for you to go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and retire my job. So for those of you that are under the retirement age or not even approaching, you're in your, let's say 30s, 20s, whatever, you want to get into Safemoon, hey, you can go ahead and buy maybe 5,000 tokens, lock it away, and look at it maybe in about 15, 20 years to see where it goes. But for those of you that are in the middle age range between the 30s, 40s, and 50s, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You guys are the ones that probably have the more heavier bag, starting from, say, 2 million and up, and goes to those tier 1, tier 2s, and tier 3 size bags where you know you're going to get a return on your investment when these products will launch. Now, we do talk about different meetups around the world here for those of you that are watching the videos. The Safemoon community is actually really, really huge, guys. And when we do have those Twitter spaces, we communicate with each other. And, we'll try to do meetups every now and then. It's keeping the family together because we all have one goal, to actually get a return on our investment. A lot of us have different bag sizes, and we know that for a fact that once the Safemoon price starts to rise, there will be people that are going to be joining the Twitter spaces that we don't know. And what we will do, we'll be as courteous as possible to let you guys know how long we've been around. I would hate to be that person that's coming into Safemoon and the price is actually, say, 20 something, and knowing that I'm talking to people that have been around for 2 years. I'm going to stay there, and what I want to let you guys know, don't get discouraged because you see that there are a lot of OGs in the Safemoon space that have been around for so long, and you've probably just joined the space maybe or bought Safemoon maybe a week or two ago, knowing the fact that Safemoon is doing these things. You guys still can make money because with the anticipation of them going ahead and launching a product, consider yourself lucky that you're getting it at the right time. So that's why I want you guys to go ahead and get the video to as much people as possible so those people don't feel left out when they do join those Twitter spaces. Right now, we average around the 30, 40 mark of, or sometime maybe close to 100 people in those Twitter spaces. As we approach the product's release time, some of those spaces, the number's going to run up between 50, 60, 80 to 100 to 300. And on the time when the products actually launch, there's going to be so much people want to get as much information as possible. We may get up to the 15,000 people in some of those spaces. And I think it's around the time when the Safemoon community is going to just go ahead and have maybe just one space with a lot of the influencers in there, like myself. I'll probably be in those spaces. a few other people like Tony, Safemoon Preacher. We are going to have just one Twitter space where you guys can come in and ask questions to go ahead and talk about the different things. Now, there are many different partners that are part of the Safemoon ecosystem. You got BBTF, you have M protocols, and all those other tokens that are there to go ahead and actually talk about their project as well. But they all believe in Safemoon at the end of the day. They know what the mission is, that we are trying to get to a certain point to go ahead and spread the word. And for those of you that have not been here since 2021, Safemoon has went through a lot of changes, and changes for the better. And those changes actually comes with things where it allows innovation. And they had projects to talk about. Project Phoenix, they came up with the Safemoon card, which is virtualized. They are doing a lot of stuff as it pertains to the blockchain. We get activity reports. The exchange is coming out. I mean, the list goes on. There's Naughty Nuts with NFTs. There's so many things that Safemoon is actually working on you guys are not aware of. And if you guys want to get informed about it, you go to safemoon.com and you can look at the focus map to see where they are. There's a lot of things that they're working on that I may be missing in this video, but just keep in mind that crypto is here to stay. Safemoon is here to stay. The tokens that I truly do believe in that are actually going to have an impact as time going between the 5, 10, 15-year mark. I look at the gaps of the five-year range, is that Bitcoin will still be here, Ethereum will be here, ADA will be here, XRP will be here, Safemoon will be here, Doge will still be around, SHIB will still be around, and all the other tokens that are actually trying to make a name by actually adding utility, they will all be here as long as the CEO does not get discouraged. Because, as you become discouraged, what tend to happen is that, the mindset tends to wear on you, and you may go ahead and throw in the towel. And this is what you don't do. Now, let's talk about the M protocol for a minute here. We know what happened. Things do happen. Guys, I do run a company as well. And I've had my pitfalls with companies where I had consultants went ahead and talked directly with my client. And I end up being the middleman, getting cut out of my project. And I would lose a lot of money, even though I had in my contract different clause that they couldn't go ahead and circumvent. Sometimes they'll find a loophole and then go around me. I've since got my contracts rewritten by a law firm that if they go ahead and deviate, or if there's anything happens, I can go ahead and sue them or hold on to their paycheck. These are the things that happen. So M protocol, we know what happened and all that stuff with what the developer did. And I hope they go ahead and get the funds back. But the team, it does suck the air of the wind for the team. It does dampen the spirit. But all I can say is that, for the team that's actually a part of the M protocol, you guys need to hang in there. These things happen. In order to be successful, you will hit bumps in the road. And this is what weeds out those people that are actually steadfast on the mission. And you will be able to look back on these things to see what happened, and it makes you even stronger. I work for companies where I've seen things happen and CEOs were able to pivot. You got to pivot in these times. You look for the little small W's in the down market. You take a look at the community. Do you still have the same support? And the support is there. Now, as far as, trying to reallocate and get the funds back, that's a whole nother story. I'm sure there's ways you can pivot to be able to get that funds back. But, as a CEO, there will be challenges. And with challenges, comes innovation. And this is when it makes you become into that real CEO. And these are the things, and that's what happened with me when running my company. I've been through many challenges, and over the years, since 2016, I'm able to mature mentally to be able to run the company and make it successful. So M protocol, hang in there. You got the community still behind you. Yes, it's challenging. This is the test to see how well you're going to perform in situations like this, and you'll be fine. So, like, share, subscribe, guys. Get the word out to as much people as possible. We know where Safemoon is going to be in less than 90 days. And yes, I'm talking in particular about the exchange. They will be launching it in the EU. And I'd just be curious to see what the week will be like. As they say, if they have a week out to go ahead and launch their product, what is the marketing going to be like? Are they going to be hiring a second team or to get the word out even more? Are they going to have Twitter spaces? How is that marketing? How much money are they going to go ahead and invest? They already invested over $600,000 in reference to the billboard. Are they going to invest even more money? And what's that collaboration going to be like when they go ahead and do API calls between the Safemoon wallet versus the centralized exchange? So this is the video I'm going to go ahead and bring it to you guys. I know a lot of you guys want the video during the midday, guys. And for those of you, I'm going to put in the description. Twitter's people you can need to follow on X, so you can be notified when there are Twitter Spaces. And if you guys want to go ahead and buy me coffee, go ahead and do that. I appreciate that because it helps with the channel. It's not that I don't need the money. I want the collaboration and support from you guys to know that you guys are interested in the videos, so I can go ahead and recognize you guys by name or by your handle and tell you thank you personally for allowing me to go ahead and buy myself a cup of coffee. I think it's about $5 to go ahead to get me a cup of coffee, and I will do it in my living room so we can enjoy it. So until I see you guys again, hey guys, don't forget to watch the video at the end in reference to Gary Gensler and what he's saying in reference to a spot ETF that they have to go ahead and register with the SEC, very similar to when they do an offering for an IPO. So just go ahead and listen to what he had to say, and you guys have a good day.
Last week, or rather didn't happen, was the SEC acting to appeal a court ruling from August in the Grayscale case. Grayscale, of course, trying to convert GBTC into a spot ETF. I know you can't comment on ongoing litigation, but should we still be considering that ongoing litigation given that lack of appeal at this point? And if not, what happens next?
Wait, didn't you just say that you knew I wasn't going to comment on the litigation? But let me just say...
But is it still ongoing since you didn't appeal?
We didn't appeal last Friday. I think that's accurate.
So you could still in the future in another form.
But what we have in front of us, just so that the viewing public understands, we have not one, but multiple, I think it's 8 or 10 filings that the staff and ultimately the commission is considering for what's called exchange-traded products, for Bitcoin to be in a security. So the Bitcoin would be held, and then there would be something called an exchange-traded product, and that would trade on various stock exchanges. And those filings are in front of us. I can't prejudge any one of them, but there's 8 or 10 that we're looking at.
Well, there is a large number, and there is kind of a narrative in this market, and I wonder if you could put it to rest, that someone's going to get to go first. Is that likely to happen, or is it likely to be a group approval? If you're going to have one, a bunch of products could be approved at the same time.
Again, I'm not going to prejudge. The staff's doing work on those multiple filings, but it's also about those companies are issuers. See, when a company is actually, or an asset manager is seeking to take something public, these exchange-traded products need to register with the SEC, and they go through a filing somewhat similar to going public, like an IPO. And so it's really the work of our Division of Corporation Finance that gives feedback. Our Division of Trading and Markets, of course, looks at the filings of the exchanges.